the way you used to swing a nail gun as a second-year apprentice compared to what you swing it now as a 10-year, journeyman, like your technique has developed over time. There's no question. And so the same thing can be said for your ability to manage your business, not on site, but your actual business operation itself. How old are you going to be before you start to experience life like you want it? I want to tell you right now, whether you like it or not, there is a better way to do business. Hi everyone, welcome to the Business for Builders podcast. Again, thanks for coming back. My name's Max, I'm your host. I'm the CEO here at Smith & Sons in Canada, and I'm the founder at elitebusinessadvisory.com. Great to have you along for the ride. Don't forget, like and subscribe. One of these drops every week. Hit the bell. And look, if you are just a first time, we appreciate you chiming in to check us out. And if you're a long time listener, we appreciate you, giving us or lending us your ear as well. All right, so we are in the second part. I'm going to make this a fairly brief intro. No doubt you've probably listened to episode, I think it's 185 or thereabouts. And so what we're sort of bullying our way through is, the different aspects of, what it is that I think, or the characteristics of what I think we need to just keep an eye on and be aware of. And, part of that, I guess part of my responsibility as a business coach is to bring awareness first and foremost. And so the first one there was mindset, and we talked a little bit about that. Today, we're going to quickly touch on management. And again, this is a very much of an overview, a bit of an overarching, maybe an introduction if you like. And, I think it's important that we just consider where we're up to as far as our mindset. And today I'm going to quickly talk about management. And so, I think management can be a fairly loosely used term. I think that, management is the goal, but really if we were to try and define that, well, what does that represent? When you are saying, well, we have our management side of the business sorted out, are we talking people? Are we talking human resource? Are we talking systems? What is it? We got third parties involved in helping us with the management of the business. So what is management in your mind? It's a fairly interesting concept, but I know this, that once you really managing you are governing yourself accordingly and you're managing your situation, the business becomes, that is a leveraging tool. When you can have management procedures, whether it's people using systems, and I've said this before, that business operate off the back of really good systems. In other words, systems really manage the business. Then you've got humans that actually get involved in administering those systems and managing the business as well. And so, we really want to focus on, some of the concepts within the management area to really understand how they are appropriate to me and my construction business in the here and now, and also going forward. So the reasoning for management, it's that effective management ensures that projects are completed on time, within budget, and to the satisfaction of the clients, and it involves overseeing resources, schedules, and personnel to optimize efficiency and productivity, people. That's what we want to do. We don't want to be just busy being busy. We really want to be efficient and productive, because that, if we've got the thing stacked right, it should end up, the outcome should be profitability. And so, we want a business that provides us a better lifestyle. That's the goal. That's the reason. That's the ROI that we go into business for ourselves. I think we have too many default systems. So the business, we don't actually manage the business. I think sometimes us business owners or builders and general contractors tend to get managed by the business. And so, I think that sometimes we've just got to take stock and go, what management processes are in place? And if you really can't put your finger on anything as far as, well, what have I designed to manage the scenarios within my business operation on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? If there's none there, then there's a reason why. We've spoke about this briefly in the previous episode about going from the chaos stage and getting into the control stage. And I've always said that, the reason that your business is in, or it's in chaos, which essentially means it's just, it's overwhelmed by disorder. Okay. And so the opposite to disorder is order. And normally when you have order, then you have control. So control is a natural byproduct of order. Chaos is a natural byproduct of disorder. And so, guys, that's really just you and yourself managing that concept and going, okay, so Max says that the reason I'm in chaos is because chaos is a natural byproduct of disorder. Okay, so why is it that I have disorder? Because I would really want order in my business because that puts me into a control phase. Okay, and so, instead of running from firefight to firefight, even though that we do that now, and you will do that going forward in the business, your state of mind as it relates to being reactive, as it relates to shit hitting the fan, versus being, very proactive when you're in that state of control, your ability to actually assess an issue and come up with a solution and to overcome that challenge is going to be a lot more expeditious. You're going to be much more efficient. You're going to burn less energy. And so, when you're running a business that is got the level of control, there is certainly there's a peacefulness in yourself about that because you are in control. So even though something might have gone just a little awry, you know that how you're going to mop that up and correct that and what you're going to do. That is the difference between getting that email from the client and hitting the roof and getting mad and going crazy. Like it just elongates the problem solving process so much. And so we've got to, okay, how do we manage? And I think one of my guys was asking me for, like a warranty. What is the warranty protocol? I don't have anything. So he was good enough to sort of put his finger on it and go, well, I actually don't know what I'm supposed to do when somebody hits me up and says, well, this, door's jamming or whatever, or the front door lock's playing up or what have you. What is the go-to system? For us, for the majority, I think, and I don't want to make any assumptions, and so forgive me, but a lot of the guys that I deal with are carpenters by trade, and I often talk to them about, well, you have a system on how you would go and build a frame on a house. It's been ingrained into you over a period of time. So we forget, guys and gals, that we got the credential as a carpenter or the experience based on 4 years of just doing it over and over again. And it was, almost out of monotony, I recall just doing frame after frame after frame or townhouse after townhouse after townhouse. And you would just, but what I'd transitioned through was I never was worried about, what I'm going to do when I first get there. Grab the timber list, make sure the material's on site, check all the lintels and, if there's any hardwood or whatnot. And then you would just start, it would be what we would call unconsciously competent. Whereas for me, as a first-year franchisee, first-year apprentice, I was, I lived in this state of unconscious incompetence. I was cocking stuff up and I didn't know it. And so over a period of time, we developed that way. And so, we know how to manage the project as a carpenter from go to woe. Then so what we need to do now is understand that we need to go through the same 4-year apprenticeship as a business owner / business developer and really make sure that we are clear on, and, over that period of time, the way you used to swing a nail gun as a second-year apprentice compared to what you swing it now as a 10-year, journeyman, like your technique has developed over time. There's no question. And so the same thing can be said for your ability to manage your business, not on site, but your actual business operation itself. And so, the problem or the challenge that I see is that you work under a journeyman carpenter or a red seal carpenter or a qualified carpenter. And so they slap you around and they give you the insight and slowly you see them do it and slowly but surely you learn. The challenge that we have as builders is that we get into this position and then we don't have anybody to follow. We don't have anyone to slap us up the side of the face and go, that's not how you do it, mate. Pull it out and do it again, right? And so really what we're trying to do, with this whole podcast, and I think there's a new movement towards learning more about business development and management because it does have such a massive impact on the success and the failure, of our building companies. And so, we want to optimize efficiency and productivity as well. So a couple of key points here. Some of the benefits, again, not exhaustive. It streamlines project execution. So good management practices help in organizing tasks, allocating resources efficiently, and maintaining clear communication channels, resulting in smoother project workflows. That's what we want. I've always said that if clients could go to, Walmart, or if you're in, down under Coles or whatever, and they'll go to the local hardware store and buy their renovation done and dusted and click their heels and overnight it gets done, they would do that. Unfortunately, that's not possible, so they've got to deal with us guys, us builders, and us contractors. And so what our goal would be for us as well, the upside is that the more efficiently we can deliver those projects, hopefully the more profit that the bottom line will show. And so, streamlining your project execution, that's essentially project management. It's like, how do we manage the project? When do we start ordering materials? What's our circle back to make sure that we are actually going to get those materials when they were ordered on the date that they were specified? Like, there's a lot of, and I think, guys and gals, this is why we have to, I think, start to consider moving away from one-man bands. Now, I'm not against that, and if you're doing it and you're happy, great. But I just know that we're talking about sustainability, and there is so much, especially because if you're a good builder, you're going to have people knocking your door down going, hey, I need you to come and build my house, or I need you to do my reno, or whatever. And you're like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And then all of a sudden you're overwhelmed with responsibility as it relates to keeping each of those clients happy. And it does really put a load of stress on you that I don't think you can handle long term. And so, we want to make sure that we are giving ourselves the best chance of success, and we're not actually throwing ourselves under the bus. And so, we want to run the projects as smoothly as possible and have all of the kinks out of it, so there's just a really good and a nice flow. Because when you've got that low friction event happening, what you're going to find is, because of efficiency, there's going to be productivity and profitability. And so every week that we don't have to invest our human resource and our management team in that project, essentially that's actually boosting the bottom line based on that back costing on that project as well. All right, another benefit of good management, and here you go, it enhances client satisfaction. Proper project management ensures that clients' expectations are met or exceeded, leading to positive reviews, repeat business, and referrals. I think when our management, like clients, it's the same as when you and I go into a restaurant. You kind of don't want the waitress to be clumsy in seating you. You don't want the server to be clumsy and very slow in getting to your table and taking that order. And then you sure as shit don't want your chef or your cook out the back to be, dilly-dallying and not really having an understanding of what he's trying to put together. It makes your whole experience negative. So you've got to have better management systems, better ways that you greet. If we go back to the restaurant analogy, we've got to have better ways that we greet and seat. And then, what's the time, between the seating and the server coming up and, asking for, a drinks list. And then when do they come back and ask for the food, the food items? And then how quickly can that chef organize his kitchen to be able to get that food out? I'm binge watching a bit of Gordon Ramsay at the moment. So the restaurant analogy is quite fresh in my mind. And it's our construction businesses can run very much the same way. Now, here's the thing too, as far as enhancing the client satisfaction, we've got to look at the pain points in our journey dealing with clients and go, hang on, this happens every time we talk to a client. Why is that so? Do we need a system? Do we need a checklist? Do we need another human? Because the outcome is never on point. And so this is where this assessment tool got to kick in all the time. So we go back to talking about continuous improvement. If we're not assessing our activity on a daily basis, as far as our delivery goes, customer satisfaction will be down the list. It just will not happen. Clients will not be satisfied. And so we cannot be lazy. Now, if you think you're doing everything right, but you've got clients screaming at you, borderline unconscious incompetence. You're cocking it up and you don't even know. Okay, so I need you to just sort of open your eyes and see what's going on. Take the smack in the mouth, because it's not pleasant when the finger's getting pointed at us going, you're doing a really terrible job running your building company, pal. And nobody's going to really say that to you unless you got someone like me who can maybe, with love, give some correction. But if you're out there by yourself, you're just going to keep on going and you're going to blame that client and blame the marketplace and blame that subcontractor, when really the problem is staring at you in the morning, in the mirror every morning. Right, and the last one here, obviously the benefits of establishing some management processes would be that it reduces costs and risks. Effective or efficient management minimizes wastage of resource, prevents delays, and mitigates potential risks, thus improving profitability and project outcomes. Guys and gals, what you don't manage, or what you don't measure, you can't manage. So you've got to be, I want you to be doing audits on your business across the board. Audit. Okay, I need to measure, because when I start measuring the performance of my apprentices, when I measure the performance of my supervisor or my superintendent, when I measure what our billables are per month, and I compare that to our fixed expenses, and I look at my profit margins built into my jobs at the start versus at the end. Those sorts of things is really what we've got to focus on, and this is why we need to manage better. If we measure it, we can manage it better. So the byproduct of measuring is that we increase or improve our ability to put in management procedures to enhance, things like profitability and project outcomes. And so, guys and gals, I think that's a little bit of a quick spiel on management, my two bobs worth, if you will. Be sure to email me, max@elitebusinessadvisory.com, if you've got some questions. If you want to chat with me about, hey, Max, what's the dealio with, Elite Business and this custom contracting, custom coaching for contractors, then, get across there, hit the book a consultation button. I'd love to spend 30 minutes with you and just give you as much value as I can and just demonstrate to you what it is that I do in my day job and helping builders. There is limited seats. I'm not about to build a firm in the coaching business as yet. You're going to be dealing with me. So, there's a couple of places that are still available. So be sure to, consider that at depth. Go and check out the website, elitebusinessadvisory.com. If there's something that catches your eye there, let's just have a chat. I ain't going to sell you. You can get to know me based on this podcast before you even reach out and make contact. So go and do your research. And, if you feel that you want to just have a quick chat, then feel free to do that as well. But manage your business better, and your life as a whole becomes much better as well. Like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Get across to Business for Builders VIP on Facebook. There's a group there just for general contractors and builders. Make sure you chat with each other over there, because we need that community, that camaraderie, and that collaboration to really help us get better. Iron sharpens iron. So have a great day. Go build a kick-ass business. See you in the next episode. Cheers.